Hi, I'm Marie, and I want to quickly tell you about my situation and then send out a special thanks to the Elgin and Pilar Walker team. Okay, so earlier in the year, I fell behind on my mortgage payment, and my payment adjusted and I couldn't afford it anymore. Now, I love my home and was prepared to do anything, well, almost anything, to keep it. So I contacted my mortgage company and they said all the right things. They told me to fill out all this paperwork and send it in. It would then be reviewed, and so, that was the process. Now, during this process, I waited months, and during the time, I fell behind on my payment. My income was also cut, which didn't help at all. And so as soon as I fell behind, I started getting all these calls from real estate people and investors wanting to list my home and buy my home. It was so overwhelming and so frustrating. I kept saying, we are not selling or losing our home. So anyways, one day I received a FedEx packet from Elgin of the Elgin and Pilar Walker team. Now, I thought it was more junk from someone else trying to get me out of my home that I didn't want to sell. Look, I'm getting a loan modification and I'm staying in my home. That's all I kept saying. Well, the information that Elgin sent me was all about how to do a loan modification, what to expect, what not to expect. So at first, I just tossed it to the side. And then one day, while I was in the process of the loan modification, I get a foreclosure notice. What is going on? Immediately, I called my bank, and that's when I realized that I was getting the double talk. Now, something told me to reread the packet that I got from Elgin and Pilar. So I contacted Elgin and I asked him if he could come speak with me personally. I told him I am not selling my home. I want to live here forever, for as long as I can. So he acknowledged that he actually wasn't trying to come and get me to list my home. As a matter of fact, he encouraged me to do everything that I could to keep it. So Elgin described that he basically told me that his team was advocates for the consumer and he wanted to provide information. He also really beat into my head two things. One, the bank is not my friend. Their job is to protect the investment of their shareholders and investors and to minimize any potential loss to the bank, not keep me in my home. The second thing was, he was like, do not walk away from the property or lose it in foreclosure. Do whatever you can to keep it. Well, months passed and no help from the bank. Then one day I get a notice of trustee sale. Now I'm just going on crazy. I'm freaking out. They were auctioning my home in 20 days. I really panicked. Well, actually, first I cried and I cried because I really love my home. What do I do? Like, I was just crying. What do I do? Is it too late to sell my home? Like, I still have no answer from the bank on my loan modification. What do I tell my family? What about my children? What about the people in the neighborhood? Like, seriously, I felt so ashamed. And so, feeling defeated, I contacted Elgin once again just to tell him what had happened and then to thank him for keeping in touch with me and being so nice. Well, that's when I got smacked into reality. Elgin reminded me that under no circumstances should I walk away from my home. Long story short, Elgin and his team immediately put my home on the market and secured a buyer for my home. Now, his team got the foreclosure sale postponed and we were able to stay in our home with everything while the process was going on. Then months later, we were able to move. And but before we moved, we closed escrow. And so the Elgin and Pilar Walker team, like, with their assistance, we received relocation money to move, and then we have no foreclosure on our records. So, but better than that, he helped us with a plan showing how we will be eligible to purchase another property in a short time period. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Now, of course, we never wanted to move from our property. We wanted to stay there forever. We loved our home, but that wasn't the case. And with the help of the Elgin and Pilar Walker team, we were able to move with dignity, a little more money, and have an opportunity to own a home again in the future. So thanks, guys. You guys are the best, and we love your saying. No matter what you're going through in life, it's just a temporary condition, because it truly is a great life.